In today's episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with Mike and Lynn to talk about Knights of Glory that's launching the Kickstarter next Tuesday. Then I'll tell you about a giveaway that I just barely launched today. Then we'll see what's on Kickstarter, but first, a message about our sponsors. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly powered by both Phase Shift Games and Thundergriff Games, who are bringing us a new game on Kickstarter called Dungeon Drop. More to be said during Kickstarter Corner, so stay tuned for that. But make sure to check out and back Dungeon Drop on Kickstarter before the 3rd of July. This episode is proudly powered by one of our Kickstarter backers, Redwell Games, and their latest game, Six Gun Showdown. The fastest playing, tension-filled game of Wild West shootouts for ages 9 years and older. That's on Kickstarter until Friday the 5th of July. More to come within our Kickstarter Corner portion of the show.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
A long time ago, kings, knights, and peasants all lived for a common purpose. Kings ruled the land, peasants served their king, and knights defended their kingdom. Beyond the seas, beyond the woods, and beyond the high mountains was a fortress ruled by a stern and powerful king. This stronghold was unbreakable, and the king's army was undefeatable. Every year, the king held an event called the Royal Games for his noble subjects to train to become highly skilled knights. Beneath this fortress lay a dungeon used to test their wits and strength. These knights faced rigorous obstacles, including traps, weaponry, and psychological tactics. Only the most resilient knights prevailed. Whoever was worthy during the treacherous journey earned their rank among the king's elite.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me either, but that's why we're here, Getting Geeky with Game Relief. Tonight we're lucky enough to be joined by the creators and masterminds of a new game that's launching to Kickstarter on July 9th, Knights of Glory. Is that right? Is that how you guys fall in line, being the masterminds and brains behind Knights of Glory that's launching, Lynn and Mike?
Yes, that sounds up.
That sounds like it.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. We really appreciate it.
No problem. We appreciate you coming here too.
No problem. Now, before we jump into everything that's about your game, let's rewind a little bit if we could. How did you guys get into playing tabletop board games? Maybe you can give a brief introduction of yourself and then let us know how you got into playing tabletop games.
For me to start, so this is Lynn. So for me, I'm pretty sure Michael is as well. We don't really play board games. When we were little, it was mostly like Monopoly, the classic Monopoly and Sorry, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got into board games until, our cousin, he's from California. He came to visit us one day and he introduced us to a game. It was called Pandemic. So from that point on, it was like an eye opener. Like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah, because we never thought that we typically, I guess, like every general audience, they see the most common ones, but the board game industry has blown up since then, and there's so many games out there. We're just not thinking ahead of ourselves, so it opened a whole new door for us.
Yeah. So like from there, we started playing other games. We played Ticket to Ride, another common popular game. We played a few other strategy games, and then we got into like one night Ultimate Werewolf. Then we liked all the bluffing elements. And we started playing all the bluffing games that my cousin brought. He brought over Coup. He brought over the Resistance. So we fell in love with those type of games. So that's why it led us to make we wanted to make a game that is like a bluffing game.
I like games that make me sweat and feel frustrated. So
Yeah. And I know my brother Michael. He enjoys poker. He plays a lot of poker.
So yeah, my name is Michael. I work with a company with Lynn. Lynn is the main designer. I actually market the game. I also the project manager behind the game, make sure the game works, all the logistics behind everything. So yeah, how I got into games is I was always into the video game world. I loved video games, and then I wanted to take one step back. I love the social aspect of how board games brings people together in life and how we all mingle, have a good time, and from there I started liking like card games like Uno. Then from Uno it became like he said, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Then we came into smaller games like Cool, and I started liking bluffing games. I like to lie even though I'm bad at it. So, but from there, that's how we kind of like. I think the one game that set us to make Knights of Glory was I think it was a group we went to in a church group that they were just playing board games, and we played this game called Celestia, which is technically the co-op version of like a bluffing game, but it was missing some aspects that we thought that hey we can do that better. So and that's where we are now.
Awesome. Celestia, I'm trying to think. I think I might have played that at one of my game groups. Is that where you're on a ship? You're on a ship and you say if you're going to get out or not?
Yes.
That is it.
So it has good aspects, but it stops there. We slightly wanted that, but way more flexibility, more uniqueness to more strategy, which that's where Knights of Glory comes in.
Awesome. So like you said, word on the street is you have a Kickstarter about to launch. What can you tell us about Knights of Glory?
Yeah, so Knights of Glory is a game where you are pretty much rolling dice and bluffing and catching your player's bluff in order to get ahead. So it's like the game of life, not the board game, but pretty much you're trying to deceive other players. It has aspects of a dungeon crawl, poker, and BS pretty much. And you're using push your luck elements, pressing your luck to get rewards from that. And what makes Knights of Glory unique compared to a lot of other games there is that Knights of Glory is a one-of-a-kind game where you can freely jump in and out of the game. It will not affect the game whatsoever. So players can literally just AFK, come back and play where they are. They can leave the game and come back and nothing will get affected. So you can go cook and still play the game.
Okay, awesome. So that sounds pretty cool. So, and it's competitive or it's competitive, it sounds like?
Yep, it is
competitive. It is a competitive game, yes.
Awesome. So per se, the three of us sat down to play. What's my turn going to look like?
So pretty much your turn is, let's say it comes to your turn. You're going to have cards in your hands. Based on what tier level you're going to, it would notify on the card. You roll that many dice. So the tier level tells you how many dice to roll. After the dice you roll, icons will show up. In your hand, you have icons to match those dice. You'll play cards face down or to bluff those dice, or from what the dice are shown, or not have those cards. So your goal is to lie to everybody or have those cards, but everyone's voting on when it's not their turn, whether you have those cards or not. And depends on if they agree or disagree. There can be a benefits for the person that disagrees, or going forward when they advance, or the punishment is you go back one. And if nothing happens, if everyone just agrees to you, you won't have to reveal your cards and you get the advance. Just like BS. No one would know if you're lying or not.
Okay, but if I put the wrong cards down and you guys disagree, that means I go backward, but otherwise I go forward if you agree?
Yes, you will reveal your card. So how it works is you roll the dice, you put your card down. After the voting phase, everyone will, if someone disagrees, you have to reveal your card. And if you were telling the truth, you move forward. If you were lying, you go back. But the player who disagrees with you goes forward, and this ends your turn and allows the next player to go.
Okay, so they get a benefit as well okay, awesome.
Yes, if they disagree.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. And now this isn't the first time on Kickstarter, is it?
That is correct.
Okay, so what have you changed since the last try round?
Yes, a whole lot has changed.
Yes, so half of the rules has changed. We did have a sell card in our previous campaign, and we removed the sell card. So basically, in the previous campaign, if you ever flow into the sell, which is right behind the start card, you're not allowed to vote. So you're not allowed to vote until it gets to your turn. So a lot of people did like that. A lot of people didn't like it. So we took out the sell. So there's no more sell.
It had a lot of rules too. We just want to make it plain and simple.
Yeah. So basically, if you're on the start and you call someone out and you get it wrong, you don't. There's nothing to fall back behind the start. But your punishment is you will lose a card from your hand and you have to reveal it.
And that's it. It's just a simple reveal and discard a card. And
Yep, and also a change is the artwork. That's the biggest change.
The biggest change was the artwork.
Yes.
So a lot of the artwork now that we have is final.
Yes. So before it was mostly like an illustration of a dungeon that is like a 2D version. This one's more like a 3D version where all the components are you're looking at if you're getting the standard version, it's going to be where you're looking at isometric view. If you're getting a deluxe version, it's more like a top view, looking down at a dungeon.
Okay, yeah, looking through your previous Kickstarter page and this one, yeah, it's a lot better graphics and things as well. Anything campaign-wise changed? It looks like maybe you got some more previews or not, or anything else besides that?
Like we mentioned, there we will have total of 4 different pledges. Our previous Kickstarter, we only had one pledge, which was just a regular. We didn't call it a standard. But in this Kickstarter, we're gonna have a standard version, which comes with the core components. It comes with pawns and everything's gonna be cards and dice. And the deluxe version is gonna come with everything the same, except the pawns are now gonna be replaced with miniatures. And the cards, the map that creates the dungeon, those are now going to be punch outs where they're thicker chipboard, just like regular D&D, those big chipboard cards. So yeah, so that's what. And then the other 2 pledges are we're going to have an all-in package where you pick the all-in, you get everything that's in the optional buy. There's going to be poker chips, there's going to be a dice tower, there's going to be the game mat. So that's for the all-in. Otherwise, the other one is mostly for retailer. The last pledge is for, we call it the merchant. So basically, anyone that has a brick and mortar store, they can go ahead and get 4 copies of the game at a discounted rate. So that's probably the pledges in our that's different in our Kickstarter this time around.
Okay, awesome. So that's pretty cool that you're able to do that. So yeah, it looks like an awesome game and whatnot. And how do I tell that I won? If I'm the first one that gets to the end of the dungeon or out or first?
So it's very interesting. In our game, there can be multiple winners. So when someone exits the game, how it works is you will roll 4. So it goes based on the dice roll. The further you go up, the more dice you have to roll, the more cards you have to play. So in our game, this is where the push your luck element comes in. You can decide whenever you want to end your turn, and it goes to the next player. When attempting the exit, you will roll 4 dice, and when rolling 4 dice, you must have it. It's an all-on system. Either have all or nothing.
Which means there's no voting. That means everyone, the current player has to play the card face up.
Yeah. So based on what your dice roll. So also some of the dice, one side of the dice will have a blank. In our game, that blank means you don't have to play a card. So it allows you to reduce the possibilities of actually having the cards you need. And those cards that in the game, we have a system where you can keep track of it. So there's a weapon card distribution. So you can tell who has what, who's been lying or not. So when you go into the exit, you must show all your cards. So if you end up exiting, you're only considered the first winner of the game. After this, there becomes a endgame mechanic where the stage is starting to collapse. The dungeon and the stage is starting to collapse behind you. Everyone that's left over from tier 2, tier 3 has 1 shot to get to the exit with no lying. So everything is luck after that.
So basically, if the first person makes it out, tier 1 and below will collapse. If the second player makes it out, tier 2 will collapse. And if the third player makes out, and then there's 3 winners.
So the maximum there could be only 3 winners. So in a 5-player game, there's 2 people going to be losing if they're still left over.
Okay, that makes sense. So it was pretty cool. And how did you know when you were ready to go back to Kickstarter?
So how we were ready, well, pretty much after we were getting all the quotes, we were getting all the new quotes and stuff and everything organized. We were ready. I believe it was 2 months ago when we were doing the Kickstarter trailer. So pretty much that was our main thing, that was trying to get that out. And then once we get that out, I think we were set for everything else. Pricing wise, from the quotes from the manufacturer as well as everything, I think we were at a point where we can work with it and launch the Kickstarter from there.
Awesome. Well, just scrolling through the Kickstarter pages I've been doing during our interview, it's night and day compared to the last campaign that you guys ran over a year ago, it looks like. or about a year ago. So that's awesome. Yeah, I really like the graphics, the images. It looks like a fun game or whatnot. Now, when it comes to Knights of Glory, what makes your game pop is when my audience should go check out the Kickstarter, and if they like what they see and what they've heard, back it today or when it comes out in the 9th.
The poker attributes. The poker attributes of our game is not found in. Actually, I have never. I don't think it's in any game that you can find where you can sit down at a table and someone leaves and you have to wait for them. Our game does not have that at all. You can play a full game. You can have almost everybody leave and come back, and you can still play the game. And when they leave and come back, it has a poker attribute as you're a spectator. You have knowledge as a spectator over others because your cards have not been affected. So what that means is every time you agree in this game, nothing happens to you. Your cards don't get affected. You don't move your player pawn, so nothing happens. It just keeps going. If it comes to your turn, it skips your turn. So those players are in the game. They don't know what you have that they have to account for, but you don't know what the other players have as well. So it gives it a really nice flow of everybody can freely jump in and out of the game, and it doesn't affect the game whatsoever, which is not found in any game out there right now. That actually is balanced. Right, our game is fully balanced, and we've had a lot of people say that it's really well balanced.
Yeah, so I'll give you an example. We played a game at a game store, and someone had to make a phone call, and they came back in 20 minutes, and they wind up being the first person to win. So
yeah, so they didn't know what was happening. They just jumped right back where they were because the game was still in play. So the game was still going back and forth because you're going up and down this dungeon. So that's why it allows anybody can freely jump in. And after 20 minutes, that player just won.
Oh boy. Okay, awesome. So that sounds pretty cool. Now, some people might be wondering because it looks like you had a early bird reward or something. Yeah, special offer, or was it? Yeah, special offer. What can you tell us about the special offer for the first 48 hours? What is going on with that?
So that is like a promo card that is Kickstarter exclusive only, which means if anyone's not familiar with Kickstarter, it means after the campaign, only those backers will receive the promo card. After that, it would not be available for retail.
Yeah, it will not be available for retail or anything else. But we do give you the chance after the Kickstarter. We allow a year and a half from now. It will be possibly available to sell if we have it limited, but it will not be. It will not sell it until like that year and a half later. So it's limited to Kickstarter backers for that 48 hours, and you will only have it, and you will reap the rewards for about a year.
So it's what it says 48 hours, which means the first 48 hours of the backers, whoever backs the game in the first 48 hours, they will get the card. After that, that's it.
That's it.
They missed out on the first 48 hours.
Okay, awesome. And now this is a family-friendly podcast, so maybe some people listening might be kind of concerned when they see the parental advisory. What can you tell us about that?
So it is a family game, and there's not all the graphics on the card is all kid friendly. Everything's kid friendly, but the mechanics of this card, which is called the torture chamber, it's where you're trying to like a torture. So when people are trying to torture you, you're forced to tell the truth.
So that's it. Yeah, the only thing we would say to Parental Advisory is because there is some blood smear on the card. There's no gore, there's no gush, there's no profanity or anything about the card that you have to say. It's just that the illustration of the card, we are maybe concerned that maybe some parents might not actually approve of it. So I wish we have it at least there to let them know if it's okay or not. But the mechanic of the card is, like you said, the torture room. You have to, when you're rolling the dice, you play your cards as normal. However, at the end of you must reveal it. Whether someone disagrees or agrees with you at the end of your turn.
Yeah, so it could be something where you could, if you're concerned about the kids seeing the card, you could just don't play with the card. You just leave it out. And if you're with an adult environment where you're playing a game, or even and
we have it on the card. There's a symbol for it that would notify that if it is it or not. So it's like I said, it's not gored. It's no craziness on the card. It's just some blood smear. That's it. And the word torture chamber that may be alarm to some parents, but we're giving you a heads up that there's nothing like that is too serious. And we ask to also the community about that too, to help us decide if it was okay or not as well.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, we appreciate that. So definitely that's awesome that you're doing that. And so anybody listening, make sure you go ahead and we'll provide it, as long as it's okay with you guys, we'll provide a link in the show notes so they can go ahead and if they're listening before you guys launch, they can click on the top left-hand corner and it'll say notify me on launch. And then as soon as you guys hit that button, they'll be notified and they can come on over and back it and hopefully get that 48-hour promo card as well as help Knights of Glory become a reality this time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
So awesome. Yeah, we don't want to keep you guys all night. So minus coming there to your hometown to stalk you, how can people go about keeping up with you and everything you have going on over there at Blue Gear Games?
Yeah, so pretty much we have several social media platforms that you can actually look up to. You can actually, on our website, it's bluegeargames.com. All the way at the bottom is all our social media. We are located on Facebook. We have a Twitter account. We are on Instagram. We do have a YouTube channel, and we also have a mailing list. And we're on also BGG, which is Board Game Geek. So you can rate us there if you're interested too. So we're on all those social media platforms, and on Kickstarter, we have some rewards for backing our project or participating on some stuff in our project, which will allow you to unlock stretch goals in the social media that will give you interesting stuff during the campaign.
Okay, so what do you got there? What's going on there?
So we in our stretch goals, we have certain our social. I'm going to bring it down so I can read it for you word to word from here. So Lynn's scrolling down on our campaign right now. So our stretch goals for, let's just say, give you an example for Facebook. Just give us a second. We're just scrolling down.
So basically, the Facebook and Twitter, if you help reach the goal of a certain amount of followers or a certain amount of likes, you will unlocking more promo cards.
Oh yeah, so there are actually more promo cards besides the torture room that are actually there. Those promo cards are actually still friendly. The torture room is the only one that's parental. So the other ones are different promo cards if you unlock it through Facebook and Twitter.
So there's going to be a total of 7, so including the torture chamber. So there's three from Facebook if you help unlock certain stretch goals for Facebook, and there's 3 from Twitter. So those 6 promo cards are basically different elements in the game, or maybe different rooms that you enter, and they have different mechanics.
Yeah. And by the way, these rooms, you don't get them right away. Every game, everything is random, so there's a lot of replayability. So you don't know if you're going to get this room or not. But the promo cards is like another variant where you can actually play it in there too.
Okay, so how do the rooms? I'm kind of confused. How do the rooms affect the game then?
So the rooms are pretty much there's going to be a path, a journey path of destination cards in front of you. We call each path is called a tier path. There's going to be a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then followed by an exit. So there's always going to be two paths for each tier level. So there'll be a total of 6 cards in front of you before you get to the exit. You will have to flip the card. There's going to be a symbol where you roll the die. When you roll the die, that die determines the number of the tier path you're on. So go back to the tier path we're talking about, the promo cards.
They're mostly the death.
They're mostly the death traps. In our game, a death trap is one of the rare ones that a random one that pops up, which allows you to take risks and you get rewards to help you advance faster in the game.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, these promo cards are just different variants of ways how to get it in different possibilities.
Yeah, so they're mainly death trap cards. They either spice things up for the game, or they might not spice things up. But it gives a little more of a flexible, more things to add to the
or gamble. Yeah,
the replayability. So that's good.
So yeah, that's the promo cards. Then
for the Instagram, it's mostly mostly for artwork.
Yeah, so alternative artwork.
Yeah,
and it's exclusive to Kickstarter.
So you will get. Yeah, you get stuff that will either enhance the game box, that will give maybe a different look for if you get the deluxe version, it might be a different game box cover, stuff like that.
And by the way, these are also these social media stretch goals. We are also using the opportunity for the community, so to allow you to vote. So even when this stretch goal is unlocked, it's not a stretch goal final. It unlocks a voting privilege for these backers that allow them to vote, to customize. Hey, here we have this option. Which one of this do you guys like from this date to this date? If you vote this will be the final. So you get an opportunity to actually dive into the community and get your ideas into art, and it'll be the final product for that exclusive stretch goal.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're not just whatever you have, they can vote. So that's awesome.
They can vote. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So can they go ahead and participate on that before you launch?
I believe there is one. Yes, there is one.
Yes,
there's several, but there is one. I believe that you can participate or vote in before the. I think there's one that's going to be on the launch of the Kickstarter and before. But before that happens, actually, we have activities, not just voting things for the community. We have actually activities and games that actually can give you opportunities to get either prizes or discounts during the Kickstarter. So
So it would be more like you're trying to solve a puzzle, like you're
or a riddle,
and
it gives you like maybe a discount on your pledge, and only for you if you solve it during. You're the first one to post it. So all these activities will run throughout the Kickstarter until somebody solves the prize, I guess. It solves the riddle, solves the activity or the challenge. So we have those little mini games that keeps people keep coming back to the Kickstarter to get some rewards. We have also a giveaway that we're going to be doing throughout the entire Kickstarter, which will allow you to give a chance to get more of a feel of what pretty much our Kickstarter will go for. So you will help you spread the word easier. So if you spread the word to all to people about our campaign, it allows you to get a chance to get a giveaway as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's really cool. I like that. I'll have to. Now I got another one I got to stay up with all those different games and stuff. So that sounds like a really cool idea.
Yeah, we also have a tournament too. Not tournament. Sorry, it's called we call it the Royal Giveaway. Lasts the entire Kickstarter, and it's almost like a lotto drawing.
Yeah, it has a mechanic like where you actually like the way our game plays, where you're rolling dice and you try to match the cards. So what it is like give you a little info about it. So what it is you will be able to select. There's a total of 5 different weapons. There's a bomb, there's a key, there's a shield, there's a torch, and there's a sword. So you'll be given 5 choices. You have to select out of the 5 one of those weapons. So
any combination.
Yeah.
You
So
want.
for example, you select 2 bombs, 2 swords, and a shield. So what happens then is it's gonna like a lottery. Everyone's gonna select the different cards they want, but then when we do the drawing, we're gonna actually roll the 4 dice, and if out of the 4 dice, whatever the symbol shows up and it matches the cards that you selected, then you will win the prize.
Actually, and the prize is our King Pledge.
Yes, the King
which
Pledge.
is the highest pledge there, the all-in technically. So you have if that's for one winner. So if there's more than one winner, it goes to the Knight Pledge.
Yeah, so
for free.
So everyone that for example, 4 people won, like actually 4 people matched the 4 dice, they will all get the Knight Pledge for free.
Oh wow! Now you've got me even more intrigued. We might have to have you come back on the show mid-campaign if you're up to it to talk about it again.
Yeah, we're fine with that. Yeah, we have a lot of games in storage, so it keeps you running and keeps you busy. So the Kickstarter you can come back to the Kickstarter anytime.
Which leads us what he just said. We have more games. So we actually have another game in development. We pushed that aside. It was actually was our first game that we created. It's a Euro style city building game where you're competing. You're trying to build the cities you have contracts where you have to fulfill. And you're building these cities in Tetris formation. So you might be you might get stopped by other players because they build their city around your block and
through a Tetris formation.
Yeah, and you can't build it there because your shape or your building might not fit in that certain shape of the Tetris.
Which is all these games are actually found on our website. Again, it's www.bluegeargames.com. You can view all our games there that we have either in the works or in production. And you can read more of the story and anything about that, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really a big Tetris fan. So, yeah, we'll make sure we leave links in the show notes. And definitely we'll have to have you come back on to talk about the different games that you're running throughout the Kickstarter. So that sounds really intriguing. Now, we don't want to keep you all night, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us to talk all about Knights of Glory. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
No problem. We appreciate you letting us on.
No problem. Sorry about the static on their end, but I'm really excited to see what happens during their Kickstarter. And did you know we just launched a new giveaway for White Wizard's game, Star Realms Frontiers, over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Go check it out and let's see what's going on now. Now, let's go with Battery Leaf. Where are we going, Battery Leaf?
Kickstarter Corner!
He stood squinting in the noonday sun, the braggart youth in front of him with something to prove. Hey, old timer, how long has your pine box queen measured up for? Came the shrill voice from down the road. the ineffective taunt barely covering the shake in the kid's voice. Longer than you've been breathing, child, came his gruff reply. Jones noticed the kid twitch and reached for his rusty shooting iron. Did that sound familiar to you? Don't worry, we're here so it will. It's part of the story of Six Gun Showdown. Six Gun Showdown is a quick 5 to 10 minute game where players are characters in a Wild West shootout. The game combines strategy, memory, and a dexterity element, like a quick draw that serves to generate tension and guides the players to read their opponent's actions, really immersing them into the feeling of being in a shootout. Designed as a small box game that is as quick to learn as it is to play, Six Gun Showdown can be enjoyed as part of a board game night, either as a quick game between other games or run as a small tournament of linked games. Players can choose one of 6 characters that each have their own deck of cards and unique dice that require different strategies to be successful. This gives Six Gun Showdown layers of tactical depth that will have you playing the game again and again. Go back the quick draw card game for those with nerves of steel, Six Gun Showdown, before Friday the 5th of July, and make sure you're subscribed to Getting Geeky with Game Relief so you don't miss my sit down with the mastermind of this game when we have our showdown episode. I'm a huge fan of Scooby-Doo, so this game greatly reminds me of such. As you might know, escape rooms are all the rage, but someone is taking it to the next level. During a quiet stroll through the park one peaceful evening, you're attacked from behind and knocked unconscious. You wake up blindfolded. You remove the strip of cloth from your eyes and find yourself in the middle of a forest. Directly in front of you, under the moonlight, stands a weathered, hand-painted wooden sign that reads, Camp Hackaway. Next to you is a flashlight with a note attached. Welcome to Body Count. Terror at Camp Hackaway board game, which is a horror-themed board game for 2 to 4 players. Try to be the first to escape Camp Hackaway. It includes a Kickstarter exclusive expansion pack. Body Count Terror at Camp Hackaway is the first chapter in the Body Count series of horror-themed board games from Game Master J. In this chapter, you've been kidnapped and wake up in the outskirts of Camp Hackaway and must survive the night while searching for the one item that will allow you to escape. Meanwhile, crazed serial killer Hackin' Hank stalks the campground, eliminating players one by one. Will you survive? Find out by backing Body Count Terror at Camp Hackaway board game before Thursday, the 4th of July. Have you seen Sprocket, the game that just launched a Kickstarter? It looks awesome. You each get a card from a different level and build the object it asks you to. The first one who builds it in complete form and dings the bell proceeds to the next round or next level, and they'll get a harder card. It reminds me of Ubongo that we played in game group, except the pieces are 3D. And play gets harder the further you proceed. Their Kickstarter video shows and tells you exactly how to play. It looks pretty fun. Plus, we're teaming up with them to do a giveaway over on thegiveawaygeek.com. Plus, we'll be doing an interview with them as well. So, in the meantime, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss that show. And also, in the meantime, go watch a video and check out the game and back Sprocket, the game, before Tuesday, the 9th of July. Casual Game Insider magazine is now on Kickstarter for its 8th year. Get great deals on annual and lifetime subscriptions, back issues, and advertising. Each issue now features a free game to play and enjoy. Casual Game Insider has been receiving high praise from gaming media since the first issue in 2012. It has been called the best board gaming magazine on the market by several reviewers, a magazine that is serious about quality, by Purple Pawn, and a great resource and fun read by the Spiel podcast. Bezier Games has praised its super accessible format that's both welcoming and engaging. And Ultra Pro says the paper quality and production quality are just flat out better than most publications in tabletop. Find out what all the hype is about at casualgamerevolution.com/Kickstarter. We teased about this during our sponsor spots, so here you go. Both Thundergriff Games and Phase Shift Games are running a very successful Kickstarter campaign for the new game Dungeon Drop. Dungeon Drop is an instant dungeon, infinite possibilities, a delightful dungeon crawler for 2 to 4 players. Gather your gear and prepare to dive into the labyrinth. Teeming with untold treasure, the tunnels are said to be inhabited by unusual creatures, both adorable and terrible. Keep your wits about you as the very walls shift into the torchlight. It's time to drop into the dungeon. It's the dungeon crawl that you won't need an actual board for your game. Go check out Dungeon Drop's Kickstarter now. Hopefully, we'll get Jason on the show to talk all about it. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our Dungeon Drop episode. And either way, make sure to check out Dungeon Drop and back it before the 3rd of July.
Ignite is a simple, mechanically themed card game with board game elements. The goal is to destroy your opponent's forge before they destroy yours. Each player is given a game board and a 30-card deck full of minions called a forge. The game plays similarly to other games in the genre. Cards have attack, health, and cost values, but the rules are less complicated and more fun, making it easier to start and harder to stop. The main mechanic of the game is Ignite, of course. In this game, your bots will ignite, hopefully, many times. How will they ignite? With these 2 dice. When your bot ignites, simply roll the Ignite dice to determine which target you hit and for how much. The damage corresponds to the card's Ignite values. This makes the game fun and chaotic, but fear not. To win, you must power up your bot's Ignite abilities with your other cards, the Forgelings. Forgelings are mischievous, trigger-happy, goblin-like creatures that live in your forge, and they work well with your bots. Forgelings upgrade your bots, help them ignite multiple times in random explosions, or provide powerful, game-changing effects. The Ignite decks are expertly designed to make every game uniquely exciting and crazy, and to make combining cards simple and fun. To add more players, just sit in a circle and your Ignite effects hit both neighboring players. So, what are you waiting for? Want to ignite your bots already? Help bring Ignite to life, and we'll provide you with a portal to the world of bots and forgelings. Not to be played within 10 feet of combustible materials. A game of crazy combos and epic explosions. Kickstarter coming June 2019.
Did you catch my last episode entitled, Are You Nearly Dead? Then Try Hiller's Dice? You didn't? Well, I'll wait for you then. It can most easily be accessed via our show notes and the update via Hiller's Dice updates entitled Nearly 113%. We approach our first stretch goal giveaway announcement. Go listen, I'll wait for you. What do you think? I agree. I'd rather step on these than Legos, and I'd rather roll these than typical D4s as well. If you feel the same way, make sure you back their project and enter our giveaway before Monday the 8th of July. The giveaway can be accessed via the episode show notes as well as over at thegiveawaygeek.com. If you liked any of the games we talked about in today's episode, make sure you check out their Kickstarter campaigns to show them and us a little love. Backing them goes a long way. Plus, make sure to stay up to date on all the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. There will be at least 2 to 3 new giveaways going live over there next week. It's our least favorite time as well as yours. So until next episode, make sure you go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geek fold by sharing our episodes with others, as well as keeping up with the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.